Hey guys, today I've got a quick review of the DREAME L50 Ultra Robovac from Amazon. This is also a mopping smart vacuum. It can do vacuum, it can mop. We're gonna go over testing. I'm gonna go through the app features with you guys. I've ran it for a few weeks now and we'll see how much dust it's actually accumulated in that time. It's pretty crazy. We'll also test the mopping feature and all kinds of stuff. So let's get into it and see if this thing is worth the price. This is the ramp that hooks onto the base station so the robot can go up and into it. And by the way, this has a nice little quick start guide on the back of it. Here's our main vacuum here. I'm excited to see how heavy this thing is. Oh yeah, that's pretty heavy. And this actually has wheels so that it can go up, like not huge steps, but decently sized little gaps and steps. Here you can see the old Eufy Robovac that we're replacing. We're hoping that this is much, much better. So this is where it's gonna live. I've got a power cable right here, standard C13. So if you don't have this or lose it, you can very easily replace it. Let's get this out of the way and we'll get this plugged in. This power cord goes up and then in here, which is pretty nice because it's gonna allow this to sit basically flush against the wall. And you can kind of route some of the excess cable around here. So I'm actually gonna do that. Like that. And then they also give you a nice little cable tie to kind of bundle up the rest, but this should be perfect. All right, so here is what it looks like when it's plugged in. It does have a little indicator light there. This is all just kind of leftover packaging material. Now we need to place the little ramp right here. So this is just as simple as slides and clicks in right there. Now that's ready. There's a couple protections you have to remove from the robot. So that right there. This, man, this thing spins incredibly easy. This as well. And let's check the bottom here. I think that should be it. From here, I'm gonna turn on the robot and then I'm going to connect to the Dream Home app. Now I may need to put this on the charger first. You just have to hold that power button for a long time and then it should start to flash. Download the app and you're ready to pair. Went through the app setup, very easy to do. There's voice prompts the whole time, connects to your Wi-Fi. And then I had a firmware update. And one thing to note is that this thing kind of backs onto the charger here. I was trying to put it on forward and it wasn't working. You have to back it on there. So now it's charging up just fine. Next step here is to fill up the cleaning solution and clean water. So let's do that. All right, first step here is we need to remove this dust cover. Very easy to do. It appears to just be magnetic. And then pull out this right here, which is where we add the cleaning solution. And it appears that this can basically hold this entire bottle. This does come with the device here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. It did say too, to make sure you only use this one and not to use third-party ones, though I'm sure you could probably figure out one that would work just fine. So go ahead and pour this in. Got a nice little gasket cap. And put back in. And I'm gonna wipe that off. The next step here is to open this up, and then this right here is our clean water tank. You can see pretty dang big, and this is gonna be our dirty water tank. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up real quick and then place it back in here. Just got a nice little latch. Super easy. And this is keyed, so it only goes in one way, which is the correct way. And it's ready to go there. Now, if we want to look at where the dirty stuff goes, that's this right here. This is where your dirt and grime and all that's gonna go. And you do have an extra one of these that comes in the bag here. So super easy to just slide this in here. And we can install the dust cover again. Okay, Okay, now we're gonna let the vacuum charge all the way up to 100%, and then we're gonna test both the vacuum and the mopping capabilities, see how well it does. We'll make some spills and stains and stuff like that. And then we'll let it run for about a week, see how dirty the water gets, see how filled up the bag gets, so you guys can get kind of a long-term test of how well this thing works. Everything is ready to go now, and I'm doing a room mapping. So right now it's not even cleaning, it's just mapping my room. And also pretty cool here, it removed the mop pads if it's not gonna use them, which is pretty sweet. So this thing's like silent. Oops, I don't wanna interrupt it. It's just doing its mapping right now. So you wanna make sure that you leave all the doors open that you want to be cleaned, and then just let it do its thing. So I'm gonna get out of the way and just allow it to do its mapping. Okay guys, it just mapped the whole house. It gives you a pretty cool little map on the phone. I'll pop it up on the screen here. You can change the room names and stuff like that. But mainly it's just kind of learning what rooms it should clean, and you can close doors of which rooms you don't want it to clean. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do our first clean, vacuum, and mop. We'll check out the results, and then I'll let it go for a few weeks, and we'll check out how dirty the water gets, how full the bag of junk is, and then also we'll do some tests on like crumpling up stuff on the floor and seeing how much it picks up. On the shag carpet, it turns the suction up and you can kind of hear it. So it's very cool. You can tell that it mopped over there, but it knows not to mop on the carpet, and it pulls up those little brushes. So far, the docking station's over in that room. It's mopped this room, which got a nice little shine to it. It's looking good. Then it vacuumed in there, mopped this area, vacuumed in here. Now it's vacuuming this rug, and it's mopped right there. So it's slowly working its way towards the base. So how it works is it does the vacuum and the mopping at the same time. And this has been going for about 2 hours now, and it's still at 35%. So it's really been going. And what I ended up doing is I ended up setting a repeating schedule. So every Monday and Wednesday, it goes around and does a vacuum, and then on Friday, it does a mop and a vacuum. And the cool thing is that you can do a lot of customizability. So I was able to turn the vacuum power up on the days it's only gonna vacuum. There's a nice shot of the wet trace it leaves behind. It's just mopping the whole kitchen right now, not running into anything. Now let's quickly go ahead and take a look at the dirty water container here. That is in one mop. Pretty disgusting there. Curious to see how much of the clean water we used. So you'll probably need to fill that up, I would guess, every 2 mops. I mean, it's gonna depend on the size of your house. But now I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, and I'm curious to see how much stuff do we have in this bag so far. Not a great way to look in here and see, but it does indeed have a bunch of junk in it. So that's cool to see. This will fill up, and then you eventually just empty it out. I love watching it return home. The thing is pretty dang smart. It just backs right in. Way better than our last one. And now the pump's gonna turn on, and it cleans the pads and then puts all the dirty water back into that container we looked at. All right, so let's go through the app here real quick. The app is actually one of the highlights of this vacuum. It's pretty cool, the map that it generates, as well as the different kind of options you have to clean different rooms. So right here, we have the home screen here. We can see my vacuum is at 100% battery right now. And then if you go to device, you have a lot more options here. So it's going to immediately show you, let's see, recommended carpet area. So this is actually asking, it thinks that it's found carpet in my house that isn't marked, so I can actually check it. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So the cool thing here is, as you can see, it's got my entire house mapped out. And if you remember, we were in the kitchen earlier, and there it is right there on its home base. So it is perfectly mapped. All of these little dots here are chair legs. So it's using LiDAR to map out the chair legs. And then it's got right here its cleaning pattern. As you can see, carpet in the living room, you can clearly see that. Front door mat, it's got that marked out. The hallway map I have right here, and then a rug in the office. Now, one thing I'm noticing is that it doesn't have the rug under my bed marked, so that's probably what the prompt was that I just got. But let's talk about cleaning. So if I wanted to kick off a cleaning right now, I could do a custom, and I could either set it to vacuum, to mop, or to vacuum and mop, or to mop after vacuum. And so let's go to vacuum here. You can see that you can set the amount of suction, max. You can do the path that you want it to take, just a quick one, or if you want it to go around the exterior as well. You can do the same thing with a mop, a vacuum mop. There's a couple different options. You can change the wetness of the mop itself and its route as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do there. Now I want to go to where I have this thing scheduled. So if you go on the top right there, then you go to scheduled cleanup, and I'll show you my schedule here. On Monday and Wednesday, I have it set to go at 10 a.m. where it's only going to vacuum, and I have that to max suction. And then if we go back here to 10 o'clock on Friday only, it's going to do a mop and a vacuum, because I don't need to be mopping 3 times a week, but I definitely need to be vacuuming 3 times a week. So as you can see, the app is pretty cool. I mean, it definitely is a very smart vacuum. It works very well. We're going to go right now, drop some stuff in front of it and see how good the suction is. And then we'll go take a look at just how much dirty stuff it's picked up in the last, it's probably been about a week, so maybe 4 vacuums at this point. Let's check it out. One thing I forgot to mention too is that you can actually choose which room it vacuums first. So I have it so that it starts at the back, which I think is the default anyway, and then cleans its way to the front. But I'm gonna go ahead here and crunch up. I think it may have just seen my legs, but we'll see if it'll get that. It's playing hard to get. Just gonna put him right over it. Okay, so obviously I shouldn't have to do that. That won't happen normally, but boom, look at that. All of that immediately sucked up. Didn't even have to go over it twice. So that's pretty impressive. Let's take a look over here at the actual bag and see what the damage looks like. It's definitely more full than the last time I checked. So these bags are hard to get an idea of how much stuff is actually in there, but like this is all I'm grabbing. So it is pretty, like you can see, it's pretty dang full here. And these you do need to buy new ones, though there are actually ones that you can reuse. So if you don't want to buy new ones every single time, granted, these look like they'll probably last like a month. That is an option as well. So honestly, I'm very impressed with this thing. You guys just saw it. It sucked up all that cereal instantly without any issue. So if you're interested, I will have links to this down below, guys, as well as some of my other favorite home products in the description. Check it out.